Guys, Callum here from Tribe Training, and today I'm going to be doing a 10-minute video on nutrition, calories, and macronutrient education. When it comes to fat loss, calorie intake is extremely important. It is the most important factor. If you want to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. I'm going to explain how to track your calories, what the macronutrients are, what food you should be eating, and how you can get them foods into your diet in this simple video. I'm also going to explain to you how to work out your calories and how to change them on the Fitness Pal app. So, what are calories? Calories indicate the amount of energy in an item of food or drink. All food and all drink have calories in them unless it's water or sugar-free, sugar-free/low calories drinks. This is the energy that once digested will provide us with fuel we need to firstly maintain normal bodily functions, such as breathing, digestion, and regeneration, and secondly, to fuel exercise or activity we choose to do beyond that basal requirement. Depending on the source of the calorie, it also provides us with an array of critical nutrients such as dietary fiber, amino acids, antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. We obtain calories from three primary sources within our diet, and we commonly term them macronutrients. Are all calories created equal? When it comes to the law of thermodynamics, the answer is yes. A unit of energy is a unit of energy. So when it comes to controlling and regulating someone's caloric intake for compositional purposes, the numbers do count. This is when we can talk about the calories in what we consume versus calories out, what we use, being the major determining factor in someone's compositional change. So we want to look here at calories in versus calories out. They're the two most important figures. To lose weight, you need to be burning more calories than you're consuming. At this stage, it's good to understand the thermic effect of food. We call it TEF. The thermic effect of food refers to the energies required for digestion, absorption, and disposal of a given nutrient following ingestion. In essence, we need calories to break down the energy in the food. So, the three macronutrients are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. I'm going to explain these in more detail shortly, but the thermic effect of these food changes. Let's take carbohydrates. 5 to 15% of the energy consumed when eating carbohydrates is used for the thermic effect of food. So if you have 100 calories of carbohydrates, between 5 to 15 of those calories won't be used by the body because it will be used during the digestion process. Protein has the highest thermic effect, and that is between 20 and 35% of calories used. So if you have 100 calories of protein, between 20 and 35 of them will be used during the digestion process. And finally, fats. This is the lowest, at most 5 to 15%. So we have macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are the ones I just spoke about. These are macro because they are big sources. They're ones that the body needs lots of. And these are carbohydrates, fats, and protein. Your diet will be mostly made up of these big macronutrients. Macronutrients, like I said, are these larger ones, and micronutrients are the smaller ones. These include vitamins and minerals. Vitamins are necessary for energy production, immune function, blood clotting, and other functions, while minerals play an important role in growth, bone health, fluid balance, and several other important processes. So that's macronutrients and micronutrients. In a minute, I'm going to explain how they're important and the percentages you should have. Protein, the most important macronutrient, especially when it comes to weight loss. It is 4 calories per gram. It is key for muscle tissue growth and repair. So if you are training regularly or you're going to start training regularly on the empowered woman, muscle growth and repair is extremely important. As I said earlier, it's highly satiating, which means it keeps you fuller for a longer period of time when compared to carbs and fats. Also, like I said earlier, it has a high thermic effect. So 20 to 35% of the calories that come from protein won't be used because they'll be used during the digestion process. The sources are chicken, eggs, fish, beef, dairy, protein powders, yogurt, etc. So, with protein, the aim is to try and have every meal that has a protein source with it. So, on your plate, try and have something like a chicken breast for your dinner, a steak, 3 eggs, a tin of tuna. For your breakfast, you could have 3 eggs. You could have some Greek yogurt. For your lunch, you could have a sandwich with a good amount of chicken in, or tuna, or a couple of pieces of salmon. This is going to be a good protein source. Try and have protein with every meal. And usually for women, I look to aim around 100 grams of protein per day. So track your food. Look at your diary when you're tracking it. At the end of the day, try and go for 100 grams. That'll be around 2 to 4 servings of 20 to 30 grams of protein, depending on how much you have each time. A really good source of protein is a protein powder. I would recommend investing in one. On the members area, there's going to be a link to the best protein powder. It's cheap, effective, easy to use, and you can take it anywhere with you. Next up, we have carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, also like protein, are 4 calories per gram. These are key for energy and recovery. Basically, the body uses glucose for its fuel, and it's like the body's fuel source. So it's like petrol or diesel. These can also be stored for later use. So, for example, when you are doing a marathon, you may have heard the term carb loading, or when you're in a long duration run, your body would go into its reserve stores of carbohydrates, and it's stored in liver and muscles. It has a thermic effect of around 5 to 15%, and you can find carbohydrates in most food, but the main ones are like rice, bread, pasta, fruits, vegetables, sugary drinks, cakes, and biscuits. Next up, we have fats. Fats are the most calorie dense macronutrient at 9 calories per gram. So be careful when you're consuming fats, because they can easily put you in a calorie surplus. They can easily quick add up, and before you know it, you've had like 1,000 calories a day just from the fats you've had. Triglycerides, cholesterol, and other essential fatty acids, the fats that the body can't make on its own, so these are essential. Fats help protein do their jobs. They also help with vitamin and mineral absorption. They insulate us, so the more body fat you have, the warmer you should be, especially in the winter months. They support with basic aspects of metabolism, and you can find them in avocado, nuts, salmon, eggs, oil, said nuts twice, butter, cheese, and dark chocolate. Like I said, fats are extremely calorie dense. I'm not saying don't have them, but use them sparingly in your diet. If you're vegetarian or vegan, try not to get your protein source from fats, because you could easily overconsume your calories if you try and do this. Finally, we've got alcohol. Alcohol is 7 calories per gram. I'm just putting this slide in here just so you're aware that alcohol also controls calories, also contains calories. If fat loss is your goal, alcohol can make or break that. 1 glass of red wine is around 120 calories. So if you're having 5 or 6 glasses of red wine a week, or a couple of bottles a week, it can easily be an extra 1,000 calories a week, 4,000 calories a month. It can make a big difference to your fat loss efforts. Also, alcohol intake can lead to increased food intake. So with wine, you might have some nuts or some crisps, or have a craving for chocolate, or you might pick on foods while you're drinking. So I'm not saying remove it from your diet. I don't want anyone to do that. But bear in mind, alcohol does contain calories, and it has a good chance of increasing your calorie intake because of it. Okay, we're going to go on to micronutrients next. All foods contain micronutrients, and here's a list of the important micronutrients and common foods where they can be found. So calcium, strong bones, we have it in milk, yogurt, spinach, and sardines. Vitamin B12, beef, fish, cheese, and eggs. Zinc, beef, cashews, garbanzo beans, and turkey. Any kind of beans, actually, you'll find zinc in. Potassium, bananas, spinach, potatoes, and apricots. And then vitamin C is oranges, peppers, broccoli, and bananas. A balanced diet should contain, sorry, before I go onto that, there's more vitamins and minerals, but I didn't want to bore you and list you with all of them. A balanced diet should contain a wide range of macronutrients from a variety of different food sources. If you feel you're not getting enough, there's a supplement guide on the membership site that can help you. Here is a female portion guide. I've already spoke about this a little bit, but when it comes to weight loss, portion guide and macronutrient percentages are extremely important. Your biggest macronutrient should come from protein. So aim to eat 1 palm-sized portion of protein with every meal. Protein-dense foods such as fish, dairy, or beans. If you look at the picture, it should be the biggest part of your plate, and it should be around a palm size. So something like a chicken breast would be perfect. Aim to have vegetables with every meal. Eat 1 closed fist of raw or cooked vegetables with every meal. Vegetables like broccoli, carrots, spinach, peppers, and mushrooms are fantastic. They're extremely healthy, really good for you, and they don't contain many calories. So they are extremely good when you are dieting. Carbohydrates next. Try and base your carbohydrates around your activity. So on your days where you are training more, or you are doing more steps, or you're going to the gym, have more carbohydrates. On the days you don't train as much or you don't move as much, your body does not need carbohydrates with every meal. It's like petrol. Let's say you're going to drive to Scotland tomorrow. You need to fill the tank right up. If you're only going 20 minutes away from your house, you don't need much petrol. The same goes for carbohydrates. If you're training lots, exercising lots, yeah, fill up the tank, fill up the glycogen stores, have lots of carbohydrates. But if you're not doing much exercise, you don't need to load carbohydrates with every meal. Finally, we have fats. Try and have some essential fats with every meal, the ones I've listed on the previous slide. But you need to manage your fat intake. So only go for 1 thumb-sized portion of healthy fats with every meal. Fat-dense foods such as nuts, seeds, butter, oil, avocado, dark chocolate will be fantastic. Right, here's a bit that you need to do and need to take action on. Calories and how many we need. Basically, we categorize calories in three sections, 3 categories. We have calorie maintenance, the amount of calories your body needs to maintain weight. Calorie surplus, this is probably what you've been in before you started the Empowered Woman. This is more calories than your body needs to maintain weight. This is where weight gain occurs. And finally, the magic one we're looking for, which we hope you're going to be in throughout the Empowered Women, which leads to weight loss, is a calorie deficit. Less calories than your body needs to maintain weight. This is where the weight loss magic happens. Here's how you work out your calories. Like I said, to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. By now, you should have been consistently recording your food intake on MyFitnessPal. Now we're going to teach you how to work out your calories. So you need to work out your body weight in pounds. To do this, you should get on the scales first thing in the morning with very little clothing on. When you've got that number, you need to times that by 12 or 13. If you have a desk job and you're quite sedentary and you don't move much, I would times that by 12. If you're highly active, you're on your feet a lot and exercise a lot, I would times that by 13. For example, a 150-pound female who has a desk job, I would times that by 12, which equals 1,800 calories per day. Once you have this amount worked out, you need to then change your calories on MyFitnessPal. Go to settings, calorie, macronutrient, and goal settings, and then change your macronutrient goals. Don't panic if it's more than the 2,000 you've had set during the first week. We've worked with over 500 women over the past 5 years, and this equation works every single time as long as your food tracking is consistent and accurate. Once you put in your 2,000, you'll need to work out your percentages. For today's video, we're going to do 40% protein, 30% carbohydrates, and 30% fat. So you work out your calories, you put it in the app, then we want 40% protein, 30% carbs, and 30% fat. Later down the line, we will change this and we will manipulate this depending on how your weight loss goes. But the most important consideration when it comes to weight loss is calories is king. And then next, try and hit your protein target. Try and hit your protein every single day. Once you've done that, carbs and fats are less important. But first of all, hit your calories. Second of all, hit your protein target. And that's all from me. If you have any questions, send us a message via email or send us a message on Facebook. Thank you. I've been Callum. Let me know if you have any questions.